You guys can see behind me here this crazy structure. Well, this one was built by humans. Every year the First Nations people of this area will come out and they'll do a special ceremony. And every time they do it, they build a new structure. And they're called Sundance Lodges. In this specific spot here, you'll see these Sundance Lodges and you'll see little sweat lodges built throughout this open area. It's really neat, really beautiful place. Just, you know, a mix of conifers and deciduous trees and grassy plains, and then it's surrounded by mountains. It's this beautiful valley, and there's nothing else like it. It's pretty amazing. We try and debunk the structures. You know, are they man-made? Are they natural? This is what a man-made structure looks like, and they've been building these things here for hundreds of years. You can see the colorful rags tied to these things. They almost remind me of Tibetan prayer flags, and I think it's a very similar thing that they're going for. Very, very strange. If you just stumbled into this area not knowing about this place, you know, you'd probably be a little bit creeped out. Kind of has a weird vibe to it. You just got to be respectful of the area, and I think you'll be fine. You know, somebody told me it's actually bad luck to even bring cameras in this place. Probably bad luck for me to go inside of this thing, but maybe it'll bring me good luck. Maybe I'll see something interesting on this trip. Maybe I'll finally get a picture or some video of a Sasquatch. That's my hope. Out of the way, horsey. I'm now on my way to the tree structures, the Nordic tree structures made famous by Les Stroud and our good friend Rod Landings. It's getting late in the evening, it's past 7 right now. So I want to get there, check out these structures quickly, and then set up a camp before dark. We'll see how that works out. The road's pretty rough right now and it's kind of soft, so I'm a little bit worried, but I think, holy big hole in the road. I think we'll be okay. Hey guys, so I just stopped on the road here. This road is crap. Like it's one lane. I'm stopped right here. I shouldn't be, but here's a structure, a real structure, and I have chills right now. Check this out. Holy crap. Like, this is really weird. There's a log that is perfectly horizontal, and it's not like, there's no end on the ground, it's just floating. Look at this thing. It is kind of creepy. It's right above me. This location is very, very remote. Like, we are way out in the boonies right now. And by we, I mean you and me, because I'm alone. Yeah, that's weird. Very, very weird. Made it to the camp. There's some benches and stuff and a fire pit that Rob made from the Alberta Sasquatch Organization. Nice little campsite. You can finally relax, but I'm gonna walk down the road a bit right now. I still haven't had anything to eat, but I'm really excited because I did see another structure coming up here. And apparently somewhere close by is one that Rob actually made himself, just to see if it was possible. But I'm not sure where it is. I'd have to check the message he sent me. Throughout this whole area, the trees behind me, there, you can see little, what look like structures. This whole area, this specific spot is weird. It's like littered with them. And the weird thing is, I usually am pretty nervous and sketched out when I come to these places alone, but for some reason right now, I don't have that uneasy feeling that I usually get. This location is exactly where apparently Jeff Meldrum had an encounter. The road is very muddy, so it's good for tracks. I'm keeping an eye open for tracks. All I see is horse hooves. There are wild horses all over this place. As you can tell, this one's not nearly as elaborate as that first one I saw when I was driving in. Not nearly as elaborate. They weren't lying when they said these things were really strange and hard to explain. They certainly are weird. Especially this far out. Like, yes, it's along a road, but I don't know. The road crew who built this road could have made them when they were clearing this out. You know, all that logging equipment has incredibly strong hydraulic systems, and they could rip a tree out of the ground, spin it upside down, and jam it right into the soil if they wanted to. Looks like something stepped on this log here not too long ago. Check this out. Right? Kind of looks like an impression. I'll put my shotgun beside it just so you can see how long it is. It's only about 10 inches, maybe. This would be a left foot. If it is a foot, these would be toes, this would be the heel, very wide. From this angle you can really see it. It's pretty deep. And behind it, you know, there's not much. And I will admit, I could just be getting way too excited right now. I did see something weird through here though. That's why I'm going through these bushes to check it out. Oh, fuck off. So here's another one. Wide again, same width. Weird shape. Very, very wide. Same length, same width. And behind it looks like maybe a heel impression or something. Right here. Possibly, I don't know. Looks odd. Too hard to tell. Here's a structure. This one's kind of weird. It's so low to the ground. Something a human could make it, right? But these are big logs. Like, these are tree trunks. So they're still going to be really, really heavy. If I want to catch that big structure, I really got to move because it is getting dark fast. Oh, fuck. That's interesting. Now, this could very well be the one that Rob made. Everything looks like it can be movable by a human being, and it's right by the road. And I think he said it was in this spot, and it looks a little bit like it's a bit too much, you know what I mean? It's really quiet in these woods. There's no f***ing way that was natural. There's no way this is natural. This is some serious Blair Witch style shit. Like, they're really weaved in there in a weird way though. That's the bottom of that tree. The top is down there. But where did it fall from? None of these trees are broken. That's why I don't think it's natural. Something had to have made this. Now, there's two options. Bigfoot or people. I've carried many logs in my firefighting career. Yeah, it's pretty... Oh, shit. This is a heavy one. Look, it doesn't look like it's grown here. It's like it was put here. This log's actually not even touching the ground, look. See, this didn't break off the ground here. It didn't grow here, it was put here, look at it. There's no stump here that it broke off of. It's weaved right into the middle of this thing. Somebody left some gifts. Look. Some kind of grass, bundle of grass, and a rock. Some berries in there. There's a lot of researchers that come here. A lot of researchers have been here in the past. Looks like we have visitors.
What's going on? I don't know you. How do you know me? Yeah, I am. People have been coming up here, shooting up this place, leaving beer cans hanging all over the frickin' trees. They freaking smashed and destroyed my trailer. It used to be parked over here. They moved it around. As far as I'm concerned, if it's not me or if it's not, they can get lost.
Is this? Hi, I'd like to know. I'm Justin. Justin, Justin, just a second.
You got that video
I
on?
have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, you
Mountain
got
News
done
Mysteries.
a couple of videos. Yeah, I think I've seen.
I'm not a crazy wacko. I'm a respectable individual.
No, you know what? It's coming back to me now. I've seen a few of his videos.
Yeah,
I can't remember
heard
his
you
name.
before.
I've seen a few of your videos. Justin, yeah.
What's your last name? Chernipeski.
You seem to be one of the good ones.
Yeah. Well, this is the first time I've been to this location. I've heard, obviously, everyone's heard about it, right?
You've never been here before?
In 2015, in the winter, I came up this road in an Argo.
Yeah.
Had way too many mechanical issues with the thing. We only made it to like kilometer 3.
Oh wow.
So, and I wasn't even sure at that time that this was the place, but
No, this is the spot.
seems to be the spot.
Do you have anybody with you or animals or anything?
No.
Well, I got some stuff we could show you tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah,
We could show you some,
Yeah.
you got some wild stuff around
You
here?
want to see some shit? I'm gonna show you some shit. Yellow sign is the peace sign. So the only thing I'm puzzled about is at the one corner back there. Oh, the upside down. There was an upside down tree. Rooted it up.
Okay.
Yeah, that was in right up on the knoll.
Spider-Man Bigfoot.
It was in Les.
Right.
Yeah.
I heard there was a couple of those.
And when we came around the corner there tonight,
We didn't see
looked
it
like
there.
it was gone. And then on the other side of the road from that, there was this other, I called it an arrow. It was wedged up into the trees. And that was gone too. I want to go check that out tomorrow, see if it's just been taken down and just left there, or if it's completely gone. Because I've seen X's disappear before after they've been discovered. I've discovered arches, and then went back the next day to show somebody, and the arch had been released. And I'm talking X. I'm talking like 60-foot trunks, rooted end up in an X, wedged into the trees. A couple of days after it's been discovered, you go back, and it's gone. Not just the trees are laying there, no, the trees are gone, everything gone. Yeah.
We're losing light fast.
Let's fix it up.
Wait. Do you have an agenda being here, something you want to see, do? Like, do you have a plan, or do you just want to come check it out?
I was kind of winging it. My plan was to just explore the area and get a look at all the different structures and film them.
Okay.
That's basically my...
We can show you all that. But all that stuff in Todd's documentary and that he's shown on his survivor and stuff, that's all my discovery that I showed to him, and he took credit. I heard with those guys. Yeah. He never mentioned my name.
I'm the other guy, the unnamed guy.
The only good thing that came out of me getting involved with Todd Standing is I met. Well, we've even received offerings from them, eh? The Squatches.
Oh, really?
They've left us mushrooms.
Really?
Yes. You know what? When people have said that this is more than likely the best Sasquatch habituation site in North America, let me tell you this.
They're not lying.
I did it. They're not lying. The Peshawala district offices. When I first got there at Rocky Mountain House, the district manager, when I introduced myself to him, he says, "Oh, yes, I know who you are. You're that Sasquatch guy." And then when I went in at the end of the job to get him to sign the paperwork, after he signed the paperwork, took my phone out, took the battery out, and threw them both on his desk. He said, "Just between me and you, does Alberta Fish and Wildlife know about or have any evidence proving Sasquatch exists?" He says, "We can neither confirm nor deny." His exact words. And then when I was leaving, he basically told me, he says, "Where you're at north of Nordegg, you're in the right ballpark." Right. Yeah. But how does he know where to freaking... I think they got my phone bugged. I think anybody who's a serious Sasquatch researcher, the local government pays attention to them. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I'm surprised the mill hasn't been in here to start logging yet.
How long's your trailer been here?
Looks like it's since 2014.
They haven't moved?
No, it used to be, well, it used to be this way.
Oh, okay.
Then we came out one time and somebody had moved it over there. That's the first thing that pissed me off. Which is bring it right to...
Can I go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead. They know who I am. I was out here a couple of years ago with Rob from Alberta Sasquatch, and I got here about 11 o'clock at night. They had been here for 5 days. And he's like, nothing, not a sound, not a nothing. I said, "Is anybody sleeping?" They said, "Yeah." I said, "Do you care if I make a call?" He said, "No." So I made a call. Within 10 minutes, would not. He just looked at me. This is, they know who I am. I says, "And when I'm here," I says, "they're coming because they're waiting for apples."
Yeah.
Yeah. Now they know I'm here. What I figured out about this place is I believe that there's a couple of family groups that live in this area year-round. And then in the fall, sometime between late August and mid-September, activity starts to pick up. And what I believe is other family groups from other parts migrate here.
Yeah.
Number one, for mating purposes, because what I know of the Sasquatch from what I have seen, I've seen their faces 5 times. They're not an animal. They're a type of people.
Right.
They have a language and they have a culture. Now, when I mean they have a language, you can listen to some of the even Ron Moorhead's recordings. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Is it very similar?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
But-
Ron stuff is...
That's Sasquatch, yeah.
Okay.
But you hear something like, "Woo boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh zilgo." That to me sounds like a full sentence in some form of a language. Yeah.
It's also very similar to the Ontario Sasquatch stuff. Some of these audio recordings sound very similar.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure about those guys. My jury's still out on them.
Right.
And I set my alarm to wake up at 2 o'clock. And I got up at 2 o'clock, came over, built the fire back up, was sitting there. And I did some whistles. And it's one that Todd Standing uses. It's that kind of a whistle.
Yeah.
Only my mouth is kind of dry, so I can't do it right now. But anyway, I did 3 of those. I think I did some wood knocks on the wood pile over there. Came back, sat down by the fire, did 3 more whistles. I was just sitting right on the bench. And back in the trees right over there, I heard a tree branch just go snap.
Yeah.
Like a loud snap. It wasn't a deer accidentally stepping on a twig. It was a big crack.
Yeah.
And I came over and I pounded on the window. I said, "Get out of here!" And there's something off in the trees over there. I've got a thermal. Grabbed the thermal and we were scanning, looking to see if we could see what made the sound, but it was gone. That's crazy. Yeah, when you think you're out, I've got a whole bunch of stories I could tell you about my experiences with this.
Yeah.
I've never seen one. Claims that he's seen more than one, several. Until I see one, I don't know, I'm still skeptical, but I'm also, like, I've had some experiences that make me go, if there's no such thing as a Sasquatch, I'm having trouble coming up with an explanation for what just made that sound. Anyway, I'd love to share those things with you later, but
That was the funniest thing that has ever happened to me out in the field. Okay, the guy whose trailer was sitting there showed up. What are the odds? I thought I was gonna have to punch that guy's lights out. I thought I was gonna have to put him to sleep because he was getting really aggressive right off the bat, and I'm twice his size. Luckily, he instantly warmed up when he found out who I was. He ruined my trip. I'm not staying here. I'm in my vehicle. I'm leaving. I told him I was going down the road to do some time-lapse shit. And that's a lie. I'm not going back there. Oh yeah, we can show you some stuff. We got everything. They were so animated. It's like they were acting. It's like they were overacting. Once they found out I have this YouTube channel. That was so funny. Oh, I was so hoping nobody would be here, and it was looking good. It's late. It is so late right now. That whole experience was just, that was worth it. That was worth the trip alone. You guys can see how crazy the Bigfoot world is, how crazy some of these people get. Like, that guy was full on insane. Like, he had lost his mind. I'm back with Doug this time to the Alberta habituation site, the tree structure site, and we're going up to the camp area where I was last weekend before I got chased out by some other Bigfoot researchers. But we're coming up the road here. I stopped here in the earlier part of the video, you can see. Same spot, at that same structure where the horizontal tree was kind of wedged in the middle of it. And as we're coming up, I'm telling Doug, like, look out for the structure on the side here because there's going to be one around the corner. And we're looking at it now, and it looks like that floating horizontal log is gone. It's not there, so we're going to go check it out and see if it's even there on the ground. Dude, it's so high up. I don't know how you would really reach it. Stand underneath the structure.
It's at this first crossing point though, right?
You see this log?
Yeah.
Like the light colored one? It was wedged in between the fork. It was wedged in that fork.
Oh, of this one?
Yeah. That's pretty high up.
Yeah. Probably 10 feet at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 6'1". That's probably like almost 12 feet from here.
Yeah, it's pretty high. I'm pretty sure this isn't it though. And none of these ones look like it either. That sucks because this one was probably my favorite one. It was wedged in that fork. Hold on a minute. I'm just thinking. I'm pretty sure this is the log. This could be it right here. Maybe, I don't know. I'd have to look at the old piece of video. But that
would make sense too.
That could be it, because it's
Partially in there.
Yeah, it's in there. And
It's burnt, eh?
man,
It's definitely been burnt.
there's the top of it. It would have to have.
I will say something weird about it, for sure, is that log that was wedged in there is the only one with signs of like burning on it. See, I think this piece was probably the piece that was stuck
That's what I'm thinking.
in the. But just based on like, 'cause it's thin there, right?
We'll have to look at the old footage and see if that one's there.
Yeah. And around.
I couldn't reach it though.
Yeah, I know. But because that's, you know, something might look sturdy, but if it's just balanced nicely and it's got a little bit of wedge from like, you know, it's thin here or whatever, if it was just wedged in there a little bit, you know, a heavy enough breeze could knock something like that loose.
You know, what's crazy though? This structure, the first time I saw it, like ever, on TV or on the internet was in 2014. And who knows when it was built? It was probably built way before then. But
So like
it's lasted like that for many, many years. And
so like
between today and the other weekend when I was here, it has fallen. If this is the log, it's either this is it and it's fallen, or the log is gone. And the weird thing is, that researcher I bumped into, he said that there was a tree stump that was flipped upside down and shoved into the ground around here. It used to be here, and other people have told me it was here, but he said as he was driving up, it was gone.
Okay, follow me on this.
Okay.
I don't mean like with the camera, but I mean.
Well,
like,
I'm gonna follow you with the camera.
Okay. So like, if I'm looking at this tree here, right? Now this tree has some burn marks on it. None of the other trees do, except for this piece that we suspect might be the one that was wedged in. Now wherever this one came from, and this one came from, because like this one's still rooted, that one's still rooted, that one's still rooted, and that one's still rooted. So like these two are kind of like one of these things, not like the other, you know?
Yeah.
Unless they're a piece of like the same tree, but like it would have had to broken off up there, and then someone would have had like I couldn't see any, like someone had to put it up there.
Yeah.
Because even if it broke,
If it, to get suspended like it was, it would have had to have fallen from somewhere,
Yeah.
and another tree immediately would have had to fall on
Yeah.
top of it to like wedge it.
but the fact that like I just don't understand, and I don't know how trees recover from burns either. So if they survive like a burn, if that bark just like grows back over top or
no,
whatever.
not usually.
So like if that's the case, like I don't understand where these ones even came from, because none of the other trees around here look burnt.
I know, that's the weird thing. And look how big this tree is.
Yeah, it's huge.
It's huge.
And it definitely doesn't have any like we were looking over here. Definitely not. It wasn't rooted here. The only thing I can think of is part of this tree that fell.
Yeah, but that's not burnt.
No, because that one looks like it was rooted right here, because that's its root system. That's not burnt, eh?
No.
So yeah, just one tree got burnt. I mean, to me that sounds like aliens more than anything.
How do you explain the horizontal log?
I don't know. To me it only makes sense that someone put it there, but it just, you know, who?
You know, the other theory, what could have happened is the guy I ran into last time, him and that other dude moved it. That is a possibility, just to kind of mess with maybe me or any other researchers. This area has been featured in like Survivor Man. And
Yeah. I just find it interesting more than anything that this one tree is the only one with burn marks on it.
I just find it interesting that between now and last weekend, this happened.
But yeah, like I said, like, were you the first person to find it like across horizontally
Nope.
like that?
No.
How long has it been?
I have old photos from Rob McNeil from the Alberta Sasquatch Organization. He has photos of it. Like, it's been like that since before 2014.
Okay, so I know that you're gonna be like, statistically that doesn't make sense, but over time, obviously that thing is rotted. Like, you can see that there's chunks missing from it, right? So over time, you know, weather and stuff like that, and especially if they've had, like, I mean, it's obviously rained recently because there's a bunch of water coming down the hill. If it got you know, finally just reached that point. I know you're gonna be like, well, it's a big coincidence that it was when we were coming or whatever, but it's still a chance, right?
Yeah.
There's still that possibility that just over time it finally wore down enough where it was heavier on one side than the other, and it finally tipped down. Because that's what it looks like happened to me, is that it was straight through, and then this side was on that side, and it tipped, slid down, and then got wedged back there, pulling this side back over here, right?
The only thing we can really do is film what the ends look like.
And it's not like it's not real sturdy in there.
Is it heavy?
Probably. Go ahead and see. It's fairly heavy, yeah. I can move it, but it's jammed into the ground right here. So definitely tough. And I mean, like, this piece of it specifically being so thin could easily fit in that little fork.
Yeah.
And then, you know, just over time, like I said, if it got to a point where it finally was just weak enough, or like took a random gust and tilted enough where it just outbalanced itself and then had to slide back down this way.
Yeah.
But, or the other theory, that Bigfoot seen you here last time and moved it to be like, yo, we're still here, so F off.
It could be that. I don't ever like to claim anything is Bigfoot because I don't know.
Yeah.
But there are definitely other factors, because I know for a fact that there was other people here, right?
Yeah.
And I left and they were still here, so they could have done anything.
Yeah.
They could have done anything to mess with whoever, any other Bigfoot researchers.
And we're,
that,
what, 25 minutes away from the reservation, right?
yeah, there's a First Nations camp not too far from here. That element always gets left out of the story, that there's a settlement full of people not that far away from here.
Yeah, like it was like 25 minutes drive-ish.
Yeah, maybe a
Half
bit
hour.
more, not that far.
Not really that long.
They know about this place,
yeah,
for sure.
Obviously. And I mean, it is like there's signs out on this road, like, so
Yeah.
obviously people come here frequently enough where they have to put out signs to say like 1-lane road, and which, I mean, it's obvious. And then you got, what was it, Husky has their sign right at the entrance to this road.
Yeah, they've done some work
Husky
in here.
gas or whatever. It's like it's not like it's completely like untouched by humans
No.
by any means.
Plus, there's a road. That's the other thing, right? The big question of this area is, you know, are these structures right next to a road? Was the road here first, or were the structures here first?
But don't they talk about like tree structures showing up on the sides of, like, because this is a trap line, isn't it?
This is a trap line, yeah.
So isn't that one of the things, is like they mark on either side of trap lines to let humans know like nothing past that?
If it is a Bigfoot, my idea is that the structures are built afterwards to let people either know that they're here, like, hello, like, please don't go any further, or more of like an intimidation factor. Like this one here, when you look at it from the road, it almost has like a scarecrow effect. It's like towering over the road, and it looks really weird. So I think it's more of like a marker. It has to be other than the idea of people making it, you know. If it is Bigfoot, it's probably a territorial thing.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
Inconclusive.
I mean, to me it only makes sense that it got put there, but, you know, I don't know by like what. This is just the anomaly. Even it being here is anomalous, because it wouldn't make sense for this tree to fall on this side of this one, and then for that piece to break off and end up on this side of it. The one thing too is that I think one thing that might be happening with a lot of people is when we think of these tree structures, we think of them as being made all at one time, when it might have, you know, taken however long for all of these things to pile up. And then, you know, things change also, like even once they're piled up. Obviously, if this is naturally, like if this did naturally just finally get weak enough to fall out of balance, then you have the opportunity. Did you hear that?
Did you hear something?
Yeah, like something like moving that way.
Really?
Legit.
I didn't hear anything.
But now I'm distracted. Sorry. Naturally, for this piece over time to finally like rot away enough for it to tip.
Do you want to go over there?
Do you want to? Yeah, we can.
Should we get the gun?
You think we should? I don't know if we just go
Let's
look.
just go quickly.
Yeah.
Go look. This is another stupid idea. Right?
Guess we'll find out if we live or die.
Because I didn't hear anything.
I'm almost 100% certain I heard something like crack over here. I don't see anything. Unless it came deeper out, but like, I thought it was just in like this general area. But I don't know. It just sounded like almost like this basically. Like,
Let's just stand still for a minute. Sometimes it's hard to tell if it's the wind like moving.
yeah. And even the rain now.
Yeah. I think it might just be the creaking of a tree.
Yeah, maybe. Wow. What's this tree?
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's probably what we were hearing.
Probably.
She's still running?
Still running.
The road here seemed a bit rougher than last time.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, talking to the audience. We're driving up this road and we look ahead at the end where the camp is, where that other researcher's trailer is, and it looks to be burnt down. Like someone came and burnt it to the ground. In Alberta, you can have your camper or tent area in a spot for a maximum of... Jesus. Is that my seatbelt? For a maximum of... Can you hold this? I'm distracted driving here. I'm breaking the law myself. For a total of 16 days, you can have your camp, and then you have to move it a certain distance away.
Oh yeah, that got cooked.
And it's been here, he said in the video, since 2014. And I'm pulling up here and it definitely got roasted. Oh man. Not a sign of smoke. Looks like it's been out for a while. That's crazy. I wonder if whoever did that's the same people who moved the stick on the tree.
Yeah, you were saying you had to do that when you were in the firefighting business?
Yeah, when I was a firefighter, this is like a couple years ago only, there was a hunter or a trapper who had an illegal cabin out in the middle of nowhere in northern Alberta. And if this gentleman is watching this video, I'm sorry. But you had an illegal cabin, and what our job was for that day was to go out to this cabin and remove all the belongings and then burn it to the ground. But that's what I'm thinking happened to this trailer, unless somebody from the camp, the settlement nearby, came and did it. Or, well, out here it could be anybody.
Could
really.
be anybody. He could have done it himself.
Yeah.
He just didn't want to move it. Though I feel like he probably just leave it.
He seemed really like he loved his trailer when he was here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't think he would have done it.
Oh, that sucks. That's brutal, man. I'd be upset.
I would be upset too, but at the same time,
Law's the law.
this is crown land, and other people like to come to this spot. You don't just leave your crap lying around. This is basically squatting. There also is a fire ban. So when did that fire ban come into effect? Is there a fire ban here, you think?
I don't know. I didn't see like a sign for a fire ban. I just saw that the fire risk was high.
Oh. Well, Edmonton has a fire ban right now.
Oh, okay. Like, we were talking about how you get more nervous about like bears, cougars, and stuff like that. After you told me that when those people showed up last time you were here and were like immediately aggressive at first,
Yeah.
that's what makes me nervous, man.
People.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I don't like dealing with other humans.
No, they're really unpredictable.
Yeah. Well, like we were talking on the way, if you have like even the slightest understanding of like animal nature, you can kind of swing the encounter to your advantage just based on knowing what they're being either territorial or
Yeah, there's
predatory.
certain signs you can pick up on.
Whereas a human could look you dead in the eyes and be like, hey man, we're all friends here, and then shoot you in the fucking back.
Yeah.
So if I were gonna build this, here's how I would start. That one, where the bottom end, that would be the first one I'd put down.
Right.
It's got like a branch that it's hooked through,
Yeah.
so that'll stay there.
It's also the top's weaved under that
Yeah.
log down there.
Yeah. So then the next one I would put in is that one, because it's underneath these other three. Then this one, then that one. Nope, sorry, this one, then that one. That would be the last one I put up. Do that one.
You should see how heavy that one is.
It's huge.
Yeah,
Goes
try
all
and
the way
lift
there.
it. I couldn't even lift it last
No,
time I was
I'm
here.
not saying I could do it. I'm saying that's what I would do if I could build it.
Yeah. Look at all the deadfall around you and look at what it looks like.
I know.
And then look at this. And the other one we were just at.
Yeah.
What are the odds, man? So close together, these tree structures. But look at the...
The one thing, when you say odds though, I hate having this conversation with you. I hate talking about odds. But when you do say odds though, your odds go up with something that is happening, the more stuff falls.
Yeah.
Because there's more opportunity for it to happen, right? I would love to just hear like some crazy...
Like a scream or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd probably be...
Yeah, I'd probably poo. What? What's up? Over here. Did you find anything? I don't know what he wants.
Do bears taste like pretty big shit?
It depends how big the bear is. What, you find a big pile? Let's check it out.
There's some right there. And there's some right there.
That's horse shit.
Is it?
Yeah.
There's shit right up against the tree, eh?
Yeah.
Dicks.
You'll know bear shit looks almost black. And it's like
Okay.
tarry and has berries and shit in it. Usually. The weird thing is that the structures mainly seem to be concentrated by the camp. Right? Like we're walking further and further down this road.
No.
And we don't see anything on
It's
the...
hard to see up there though.
Yeah, but...
This is a lot more greenery too than the other area,
Yeah.
so it's gonna be harder to see. Like pick those things out because there's a lot more vegetation to look through.
The farther out you go, the less and less things you see down this road.
But again, like it's way thicker.
It's way thicker.
vegetation-wise. Like,
But it's almost like if those ones were made by anything other than people, they would have been made so that people would see them, you know?
yeah. But if they were made by people, then they would want people to see them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the mystery of the floating horizontal log on that first tree structure, it's not so much a mystery, I'll say that. It appears after going over the footage that the log simply tipped over and the one end hit the ground and it just remained in that vertical position. The log that me and Doug suspected was the log that was hovering there is the one. So it's not like the log just disappeared and vanished. It simply just tipped over and remained in that position. And going over the footage, you can see that it is hanging out more on the left side, like it's longer, and it wouldn't take very much to cause it to swing down and tip. I do still find it odd that between me being there the one weekend and like a week and a half later is when it tipped. I find that very strange. Like the chances of that I don't think are that good, because this structure's been there and has been like that for many, many years. And just between the two periods of me being there, it moved out of place. I think more than likely someone went there and maybe, you know, it's really high up. They would have had to throw a rope over top of it maybe, and then they could pull it down. I think that's a possibility. The other possibility that is highly likely is wind and weather effects. And of course, there's always the possibility that it was manipulated by a Sasquatch. That's the least likely of all the possible explanations, right? I'm guessing it was done by people. I know there was people there. When I left the first time, in that week and a half period, anybody could have went up there and manipulated this tree structure. It's not a huge mystery like I was suspecting before when me and Doug were there. Everything lines up and it simply just shifted and fell down. And I was kind of hoping it was something more than that, but unfortunately it wasn't. It's still a very weird structure. Like before, when the log was sitting there horizontally, that is very hard to explain how that happened. And that is still a mystery. Was it made by Sasquatch initially? Have no idea. It's possible. The area is well known for its Sasquatch activity. This is the #1 site in like Western Canada. You know, I still believe that if I'm gonna film a Sasquatch, if I'm gonna find tracks or have any sort of activity, it's gonna be in this general location. If you look at the Google Earth satellite images of this area, you can see that there are many areas that are just massive, untouched pieces of forest that haven't been touched by the logging industry. And I think that makes it a perfect area for these Sasquatch creatures to exist, if they're real. Hopefully one day soon. One day soon I'll find what I'm looking for.